What's up, Android? What's your question, brother? You're live on Vetted. I got to say that every time, guys, because that's going to be fun. That's my catch. Okay. What's up, man? How you
My
doing, brother?
Doing pretty good. How you guys doing?
Great.
What's up, brother?
So my question is, how do you think that they're studying us, these alien species, or wherever they're from, another dimension or wherever? Do you think they're studying us? Do you think that they've been given orders by someone else, their superiors, whoever leads them, right? Their president or their whoever their leader is. They've been sent here to research us and study us, and that's why, they don't just land on, what they call the White House lawn and just introduce themselves because they're just here to study us. They don't want to interfere and just making sure, to gather all their information without interfering or messing up with our evolution.
Yeah, I think that's probably if that is happening, that makes sense that they would study us. And there's so many experiencer stories that involve that dynamic of the story, right? So I mean, on its face, I think that makes the most sense. Now, what does it look like? Have they made mistakes because they're not supposed to interfere? But I also think, right, with different, if there are all of these different species that have interacted here, that they all agree on the same agenda, they all have the same research protocol. You know what I mean? Like, what are they working
Yeah,
together? Is the way that they're okay? Is the way that they're different species, but maybe they interact like different races on Earth do, right? So maybe they're all from the same planet. Like, what if? Does that make sense? Why do we assume every alien planet is just filled with those alien? If they start traveling galactically, it starts to make sense that these planets will become, right, a mixture of people from all over, right? So maybe we need to start thinking about, alien species. We need to start categorizing them differently. I'm just spitballing this right now. Like, I'm literally just thinking of this, but maybe we start categorizing them of like where they're from more than anything, right? Does that make sense? Like that, because that's how we designate it here, right? Where are you from? We want to know where you're from, not necessarily your race entirely, because different races are all over. So maybe it's like planet B and planet C, and if they're different dimensions or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know. Am I making sense here? Con, Daniel, save me.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Somebody save me.
yeah. So there is something pretty interesting in what you're saying, Pat, and also an Android's point is we had a discussion a few days here in the open mic. By the way, guys, if you don't have subscribed yet, please come to the Discord. Our open mics are almost every single day. It's awesome. And I just wanted to say we had a discussion about this, and it's what if the aliens, more based on Android's point, what if the aliens are just like are here for research purposes, just like our photographers going to savannah and actually like recording a lion eating a gazelle and they don't interfere at all? What if what they're trying to do here is just research our ways, our habits, how we react, what our daily lives are, and not interfere in the natural evolution process?
Yeah, but
Just
that person watching the lion, um, attack the gazelle doesn't interfere. And if they did, it wouldn't interrupt the lion's evolutionary process or the gazelle, right? Would it? It's more like,
Uh,
are they taking pictures for their own version of National Geographic? Are humans on the cover of their National Geographic? You know what I mean? That
well,
would be
I gotta,
hilarious.
oh,
I gotta.
that's interesting. That's fun. That's
It,
fascinating.
it,
Yeah,
it could alter their like. Let's if we're going to a completely foreign planet in this scenario, then
yeah.
just the mere arrival of us could alter their evolution. It depends on their comprehension of us. Also, what diseases could we potentially introduce to them that could like
Exactly.
directly kill them off?
Exactly.
Well, that's
Yeah.
true.
Like
Yeah, but
this happens between humans.
that's not stopping the lion from eating the gazelle interruption. See, you know what I mean? I agree with what you're
Not
saying,
in
but
that
just
individual
based on that
moment, but
example,
like
yeah. So
maybe
maybe
not in that.
they could interrupt for a moment, like to save you from something, like, you know what I mean, but not like a direct interruption, like you're talking. That's a viral introduction into their species, right? That affects everybody. Maybe they could interrupt or interject just for a moment between, whatever. They like one human, so they save it from one particular thing, or they do heal one human, but it's not like they're out healing everything. So that's why you only hear sparse stories and kind of all. Does that make sense? It's not like just it's like, why don't they stop wars? Why don't it's like, well, maybe they do stop little bitty events, but like Daniel's kind of implying, you could interrupt a lot more if you kind of came full force and, you know what I mean, stopped everything. Right. So you kind of interjecting a little bit here and there. I don't know, like acupuncture. It's like, it's like,
I guess it depends on if preservation of this society that you've discovered is of paramount importance to you, then obviously these will be high priority. But like, if you're really just there to plunder the planet as a resource, I don't really know if those things matter so much.
No,
like intervention doesn't necessarily matter. Like, why would you intervene in their own downfall?
Sure. No, and a lot of it's subjective and it could change. But look, we got to move on. I know it's like we could keep talking about, but that's what we want. We always want more there. So look, Andrew, before you go, any last comments before we drop you down on this? You can button it up here.
Yeah, I would just add on to your question about the lion scenario. That just interfering with one lion killing a gazette wouldn't hurt its evolution if it was just one. But if we came in there and said, nope, lions can't kill any more gazettes, it would interfere with their evolution. They would die off probably.
Yeah, great point. Exactly. That's kind of my point too. So I think we all agree there. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, 100%. So. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, and again, that could explain why sightings and experiences are so kind of sparse. Does that make sense? Because it's that kind of scenario, right? They're just they're trying to help one gazelle, not make a rule that you can't hunt gazelles anymore. Because I agree. So anyway, all right. Thank you, Android. Great question. Great discussion, man. Appreciate you.